Welcome. Happy New Year. All right, today I wanted to talk about something that I've been doing recently that has been helping me out with certain mindsets. And I want to kind of share it with you and see if this is something that can be useful to you. Now, there have been certain points in my life where I have kind of lost control of the thinking and have had racing thoughts, like anxious thoughts. I remember somewhere around probably 2008, 2009, that's when I first learned about EFT. Frederick has mentioned EFT, using that. I'm sure many of you know about it, but that's when I first encountered EFT and using that technique. And I remember I was spiraling out about some guy that I was involved with. And it was during the middle of this insane ice storm that shut down the whole state of New Hampshire. And I remember just sitting there without power and didn't know when it was going to come back and spiraling over this guy. And I started using EFT and it calmed me down, right? So it's an effective tool. EFT is an effective tool because what it does is it interrupts the thought processes that you're having, the thoughts that you're having. Let's say you're anxious and you're scared about something, you're afraid, right? Or you're worrying. Doing this technique while it's hitting pressure points and stuff like that, right? And wherever you do the karate chop, whichever ones you do, whatever methodology you use, it's disrupting that thought pattern, right? And then I remember, I don't know, maybe about a month ago, is it about a month, maybe month and a half, Frederick put out a different video that was about how to bring your source self into the avatar. And sitting for, sometimes hours on end in meditation. And I'm sure you yourself probably find yourself drifting off in different, you going this way, oh, this thought is now in my head, I'm going to go follow that train of thought and that. And you have to actively bring yourself back, right? To just go into the silence again. Well, you're in the silence, but to be silent in the silence and focus on what it is that you are looking to achieve. So I was doing that and finding, those random thoughts taking me off track. And so I just started saying now, to myself in my head, now, because it was disrupting any thoughts that were being fed into me, completely disrupted, because I'm just saying now, because I'm actively thinking now, and now, right? So that was effective for me in meditation. Then last week sometime I had all these different house sits. I had one house sit which had 2 dogs. There's another house sit that had another dog, and I brought him to that other house this week. Plus another client asked me to house sit their dog for 2 days. So I had 2 different clients' dogs at this third client's house. In addition to that, I've been caring for bunnies since the 21st. I'm going to be finishing up tomorrow because the client came home and he got the flu in China. So he's been holed up in a hotel in New Jersey for the last few days because he's like, I just can't move. He had a fever and all that. So he's supposed to be home tomorrow, but I'm going to be doing one more visit with the pets. I digress. And that job, and then also on New Year's Day, the day after, and the day after, I was doing 2 walks a day for this other dog downtown on the 1st and the 2nd, and then a morning walk on the 3rd. So it was a lot of juggling around the last few days. But last week I was kind of having a lot of racing thoughts because about a month and a half ago, maybe about a month ago, I started noticing a burning smell in my car. and found out that it was an oil leak. So I was at this hotel and I brought it to a mechanic down the street. It was Amoco, and had them fix the oil leak. And then I picked up the car the next day and I noticed that there was still a smell of the burning. And I says, okay, maybe it's just oil burn off. I'll let it see how it, how it drives, whatever like that. And the smell of the burning smell wasn't going away. It was, whatever. And then I noticed that there was oil on the ground. So because I was doing all these house sits and stuff, like, house sitting all these dogs, but also doing these other visits and stuff, I really didn't want to take my car very far. But also, one of the dogs that I brought to the house that I was staying at, they lived about 20 minutes away, and I wanted to make sure that every day I went to their house and checked on things, made sure everything was running smoothly, but also that people saw that I was coming and going, that I was there for like 2-3 hours in the afternoon, and it was always random times, so people never knew when I was coming. I digress. But it was 20 minutes up further north from me, and then I would come back to the house or whatever, or in the morning I would go downtown, which was like 15-minute ride downtown, to go to their apartment, take care of the monies, go feed the other dog, and then come back up to the house, and then go up to, so I was doing these back and forths. But the one that was further up north was a little distressing to me because there's not really much there. They're kind of like one of those like northern Westchester, kind of getting into that semi-rural area. There's wooded and they're wealthy area, right? So that was kind of distressing me, and I was having these recurring anxious, worrying thoughts. And I'm driving the car. I got Henry in the car with me, and I'm just like spiraling, thinking that like the car is going to catch fire. I'm like, you got to stop that. Just stop. But that wasn't working. Wasn't soothing my anxiety. So in that moment, I just started saying, right now my car is okay. Right now my car is okay. As I'm driving, right now my car is okay. And then right now my car is okay. Right now my car is okay. And I repeated that the entire time. But in that 15-20 minutes of travel, it got me to stop thinking that the car was going to burn up. And then I got to the house, I calmed down a bit, the dog and I relaxed, but then I had it was also during like nighttime. It was around like 7 or 8 o'clock. I had to make the ride back and did the same thing. Right now my car is okay. Right now I am okay. But right now my car is okay. Right now my car is okay. Because right now, and now, and now, and now, and now, and now. So I just said, right now my car is okay. Right now my car is okay. And I got home and everything was good, right? Like I smelled the burning in the car, through the vents and everything like that. But that helped me not lose my crap. And the next day I did the same thing, but I didn't verbally say it. I just said it in my head, repeated it over and over, and it helped me. Now I will also say at night, I also made a very pointed, intentional thing to tell my avatar to release the anxiety. And yeah, like I do that. I'll get into the silence and I say, okay, remove the anxiety from my body, or remove all the tension from my body, or remove the pain from this part of my hip or whatever. And I literally can feel it dissipate. It might not happen right in that moment, maybe 5-10 minutes later, all of a sudden I felt all that anxiety literally come out of my avatar. My avatar released it all. And it was, even though I was feeling it here, like in my shoulders, which is where most tension is being held, I felt it come out of my body. So the next day I felt better. But that reciting, it was keeping me in my now, right now. I'm in my now. And that's all I could think of, because the worry and anxiety, and literally this only lasted a day. It was only a day. But I was like, I haven't had a situation like this where I was losing control of my thought process and I was starting to spiral like that. Like I said, 2009, and maybe once in like 2015 when I was going through a lot of problems at my apartment. I really haven't had that kind of thing happen to me since. So we're talking like a decade. That's a pretty good track record, right? So that was what I did. I anchored myself in the now, because I have a very hard time being in the now, because I'm always projecting anxiety about my finances, anxiety about where I'm going to stay. It's not like I'm afraid that I'm not going to find a place to stay. I'm always going to find a place to stay. But then it's like, oh, okay, like this money hit, that money hit, it's always like this little juggle. And because I'm always thinking ahead, I'm actually manifesting it. And I stopped myself from doing any further damage, is my point, because it actually kept me in the now moment. And sometimes you got to do just whatever works. And that worked for me, because it's the same kind of function as doing EFT, where you're tapping on different spots of your body, your different pressure points, but you're doing it in your mind. Sometimes people might think you're weird for doing EFT, especially if you're like out and about and you're in a crowded area or something, or people might be like, what is this weirdo doing? Just sitting there going, right now, in my mind, right now, everything's okay. Right now, I am okay. And you just say that to yourself over and over and over again, your avatar will believe it. Your avatar. And that's the important part. It's not about your subconscious at least this process, okay? It's not, oh, that's a pretty picture. It's not about your subconscious. It's about your avatar. What's your avatar believing right now in that moment? And is your avatar in that moment? And that helped me. And it knocked me into the moment, into the now, and kept me there. And guess what? Everything's been okay. The car got fixed today. I had to bring it back. And that was the other thing, because I knew it was going to be like so many days before I could actually get the car to this mechanic. And I had to make all these arrangements. I had to stay at this hotel again so I could bring it down the street. And I don't know how long it's going to take them. I might have to rent a car, because I have to do another thing on the 7th. I have to start a new house sit on the 7th. And I have to go do drop-in visits. And I was getting myself all cuckoo, right? Because I'm mentally going over in my mind, my schedule, what's laid out on my calendar for the next few days. And I was like, woosah, girl, come back to reality. And that's it. So the car was looked at today, no charge. They had to tighten up some things. And that was it. So now I'm just going to bring it back in 2 weeks. So just bring it back in 2 weeks. We're going to look it over, make sure everything's good. They had cleaned it. So, I'm not smelling any burning smell. Those are good signs. I'm like, yes, so like, all of the issues with my car are gone. And now I could go, whew. And now I know. And then there was like a whole thing, like I didn't know if I was going to be able to feed the bunnies today, but I went there first thing this morning before I bought the car, got that taken care of. And then I was like, and he wanted me to see if I could do it tomorrow. I said, well, I don't know if I'm going to have my car. Ended up getting my car at like 2:30. So I was like, boom, texted him. I was like, I'll be able to care for your bunnies tomorrow. It's all good. Get rest. And that's it. So I know this is a little bit long-winded, but I just really find this to be effective for me. It's reductive. It's a reductive thing, but it's effective. And that's the part. You find whatever is effective for you and you do it. All right. Be well. Bye-bye. And if I didn't say Happy New Year at the beginning, Happy New Year.